Now that we have the paper taped down, we're going to do the first drawing in our set of oblique drawings. So I give you an orthographic projection. This is what I give you. I give you a 3-view drawing. It's the front view, the top view, and the side view. The objective here is for you to draw an oblique drawing, which the finished product looks like this. It's a 3-dimensional drawing. It's a 3-dimensional drawing because you see length, height, and width. The 3 dimensions. So here's how we start. What we're going to do after we tape down our paper is we're going to create an L. And the L is 2 inches on the side of the paper and 2 inches up from the bottom. So I place our ruler here and I measure in 2 inches and I measure up 2 inches. Now I take my T-square and I create the L. Once that is done, I'm going to draw the front view right in the corner of the L. And I'll do that like this. 2 inches up. Our paper is taped down and our front view is drawn in the corner of our 2-inch L. So now I take a 45-degree triangle and I place it on the edge of my T-square, which of course my T-square is always tight. If it's off on an angle like that, I'm exaggerating, it's obviously going to be wrong. Must be tight. And I take the triangle, I lay it down on my T-square. This leg of the triangle is 45 degrees and I'm going to come out on every corner of the front view. So I know that I'm going to come out 1.5 inches because that's what's on the drawing here. In the side view, we could see that the width of the object is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to come out lightly on the 45s and then I'm going to measure 1.5 inches on each line that I draw. So in every corner, I come out on the 45. Then I take my ruler here it is, and I measure back 1.5 inches on each line. Then I simply connect the dots using the T-square. Every line that is done in this drawing you must use a straight edge, preferably the T-square. So I come this line. I'll erase the extra lines. And that's the finished project. The drawing, I'll darken these lines at the 45. When we start the drawing, we do the drawing lightly. And the light lines are called construction lines. Then when we're done, we're going to darken it with object lines. So the dark lines that we make now are called object lines. And that's it. It's done. We still need to put the border, the title box, and the dimensions on the drawing. I'm going to start with the dimensions. The dimensions are very tricky, so please pay attention to this. We are going to put the same dimensions on the drawing I gave you on the drawing that you're creating. So we see that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dimensions. We're going to put 7 dimensions on this drawing. We're not going to put 6, we're not going to add extras. We're just going to put 7 down. Whatever 7's here, we're putting them here. And here's how you do it. If we look at the drawing I gave you, we see the dimension line here, and there's an opening in the center for the number. And then we see on the dimension line, it travels as an arrow at the end of the line that hits an extension line. So we're going to start by putting extension lines on the object, and here's how we do it. We take our ruler. We place our ruler on the object. We skip a 1/4 inch. We skip a 1/4 inch space, and we make a 1/4 inch line. So there's an extension line. There's an extension line. That is where I will put the 4-inch dimension. And here's how you do that. Take our T-square. And we make our dimension line, leaving a space in the middle for the 4. And we put our arrows carefully touching the extension line. And here's where it gets tricky. Right here, here's where we put the width. We put our ruler on the object, we skip a 1/4 inch, and we make a 1/4 inch line. We make a dimension line, leaving a space in the middle for the dimension. So arrows. Put our extension line here, 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 put one here, and of course put the height. Use a T-square now and put in my dimension lines, leaving a space for the number. This is 2 inches. Remember, I get the dimensions off of the orthographic projection that I gave you. 1 3/4, 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1 inch. And don't forget your arrows. There. That's our oblique drawing. Now we need a border on this. A 1/2 inch border around the perimeter. So I'll mark a 1/2 inch on all 4 sides, and then I'll make the line with my T-square. And then the title box. And if you remember from the first set of drawings, our title box come up from the 1/2 inch line, 1/8, 1/4, 1/8. 1/8, 1/4, 1/8. And of course, we put our name, period, and drawing number in the 1/4 inch line, from line to line. So, very carefully, don't scribble.
Okay, come on. That's...
And there, our first drawing is complete.